You may remember a video from about a year ago in which I introduced you to the Kodak 51000, world's largest puzzle. At the time it was published. Maybe by now there are a couple that are bigger, but definitely one of the largest commercial puzzles in the world. It is a massive, huge puzzle divided into 27 panels, each about 2,000 pieces, representing simply some of the most stunning places in the world. And the beauty is that if you don't have the room to work on such a massive puzzle, like I don't, you can still work on this puzzle simply solving one panel at a time. The panels are divided into bags. Each bag has its own panel, they're numbered, and so the way I'm doing them is I do a panel, I glue it together, turn it into a single piece using Mod Podge, and then I proceed to do the next panel. And that's the only way I can possibly do it. I just don't have enough room to work on it all at the same time. And you're thinking, so you're basically doing 27 puzzles? Yeah, sure. What's wrong with that? They are nice 2,000-piece puzzles each. Even thinking about them as a collection of 27 puzzles, then each 2,000-piece puzzle is not particularly expensive. And so that's the way I'm doing it. One at a time. I stack them one on top of the other when I'm done, like pancakes. At the end, when I'll be done, I'll assemble the puzzle on the floor. I will have to move furniture to assemble it. I'll look at it. I'll take some pictures. I'll make a noise, kind of like, and that's it. And then I'll put it away, and I'll be happy that I solved this puzzle. Because one does not simply solve such a puzzle to solve it, but to be solving it, to enjoy the journey, and I'm enjoying the journey a great deal. Now, in the last year, I completed the first third of the puzzle, the top row up there, 9 out of 27. But I don't want this to give you the feeling that it took me a year to do so, because sometimes I do a panel, then something happens, and I cannot work on it for like a month or two, and then I got an opening and I do 2 or 3 panels, and that's another big break. So the easiest way, if you want to get a sense of how long it's taking me, is simply to think that each panel takes me about 15 hours. Again, I never timed any of them, but that's kind of the sense that I got. So for now, I had these 9. I have no idea, because again, my pace is so irregular, how long it's going to be for the rest, but I'm enjoying the journey. And so now, without further ado, I can show you the panels that I got. That are, and this is them. These are the panels. Again, they're Mod Podge, so as you can see, I can lift them up, move them easily. So basically, they are in reverse chronological order. This is the last one that I did, and the previous one I did before, and the one at the bottom is the first one that I did, because I stored them one on top of the other. So here we have, of course, one of the most amazing contributions of England to world culture, which is a phone booth that doesn't work, because if you lived in London like I did, you know, it just doesn't work. The bridge is also kind of cute, but so iconic is the phone booth. This one was fun, not particularly hard. I expected it to be harder. The bridge was a little bit challenging at times, but the phone booth was also a lot easier than I expected. And then we got the Taj Mahal. This one was challenging, simply because of the mirror images. And when you see the final puzzle, of course, it's clear which one is an image and which one is the mirror image. Somehow, when you're solving the puzzle, not every time, it's not so obvious every time. And somehow the pattern of the trees was, I don't know, it should be obvious, right? But I remember it was a little bit challenging there. But what a beauty. What a beauty. Then we have Santorini. People who play board games may also remember we have a really nice abstract board game about Santorini. Real beauty also. And I would say, if I remember correctly, the most challenging parts were the coast and the vegetation, which again, you would imagine that would be a lot easier than the houses, but actually the different shades were not too bad. Also, you may have noticed I'm not even talking about the sky. Some people don't like to do skies in puzzles, and of course when you get 27 landscapes you're gonna see a lot of skies. But I love the skies in puzzles, probably one of my favorite things. And I remember how much fun it was to do this sky here. Very nice here. I think this is, if I remember correctly, the Royal Palace in Thailand. Really beautiful, really cool. And of course, I'm going a little bit fast here, but feel free to pause at any time. As you can see, you can hear from that noise that the Mud Podge makes them stick slightly to one another, but not to the point, as you can see, that there's any damage or there's really any problem in then moving them around. I think probably I'm not going to store all 27 one on top of the other, then I'm afraid there's going to be too much pressure. But for now, no problem. Machu Picchu, definitely one of the hardest and also one of the most rewarding of the panels. So incredibly tough. I remember for some reason that area was really tough. The green area, since the pattern is kind of like diagonal, somehow it was always in between different pieces. It was very hard to find pieces that would just lock together, because of course they don't lock corner to corner. And I just remember this one being very hard, but I just remember that sense of true happiness when it was finally solved. Chichen or Chichen Itza, I don't remember exactly, probably one of the easiest, if not the easiest of them all. The pattern of the pyramid, so geometric, incredibly easy. The pattern of these flowers here, vertical, not a problem at all. The sky was fun, but the sky is always fun. It's always the best part of the puzzle. This castle, I don't remember exactly the name. That's kind of like a non-name. Very dear to me, because not this image specifically, but a different image of the same castle was the first large puzzle that I ever solved. Maybe I was around 10. It was a 1,000-piece puzzle, or 1,500 by Ravensburger. So this castle is always dear to me. And this is also one of the most successful and popular images in all of puzzling. So it had to be in here. And I have to tell you, for some reason, this vegetation, the hardest thing, all those 9 panels, 18,000 pieces so far, this vegetation here, by far the hardest, by far the section it took me the longest to complete. I don't know why, but I know that that's the case. The Colosseum, not particularly hard, but particularly nice. That was fun. Somehow it was fun to do this to solve these little people all around. It was just cute to look at little details. And in general, the quality of the images is really high. I mean, it's Kodak, so you know you can trust them, and this is no disappointment. And then we have the last, which of course is also the first, that was solved with New York City, which was actually pretty challenging, but also pretty fun. The Statue of Liberty. See, that was a year ago, and I still remember pretty well which parts were more challenging, which parts less, and the pattern with the different colors of the buildings being kind of spread out all around. I mean, there's red here, and red here, and red there, and a little bit here and there, and so on and so forth for every color. That made the patterns pretty challenging. The puzzle in general, the fit is very nice. It's tight but not crazy, so just as tight as you want it to be. The pieces are thick and nice. They fit together well. The colors are so bright. So I'm definitely very happy with this puzzle. The journey has been absolutely exciting. Follow me for a new update. I have no idea when I'll show you the second third, and then finally I'll show you the last third, and I will show you the entire puzzle completed. But again, in a sense, I have no rush to get there, because the journey is a destination, and the journey is being very, very pleasurable.